Tonight, this man has been charged with knowingly infecting a man with HIV, and the San Diego City Attorney is looking into possibly dozens of other victims.
10 News reporter Jennifer Jensen is here now, and Jen, you actually spoke to one of his accusers just hours ago.
Yes, I did, and I can tell you that he was devastated. Now, I poured over most of these 95 pages of court documents and evidence, and I can tell you the text message that the man is accused of sending after his encounters are shocking.
These are pictures of Thomas Guerra, also known as Ashton Chavez, a landscape architect now being charged by the San Diego City Attorney's Office for willfully exposing himself to another person with HIV.
I honestly feel like I'm living some crazy Lifetime movie.
We're protecting this accuser's identity, but clearly he is upset. Not only that he's now HIV positive, but that someone he says he loved and trusted would do this to him and to others. He says the day he learned about Guerra's crime, he was hours away from proposing.
I don't even know who I was living with. I don't know who I had fallen in love with.
In this lengthy crime report, there are dozens of text messages and emails which appear to show that Guerra tells his potential victims that he is HIV negative when they ask. He has sex with them and then brags to his friends via text messages that he just infected someone else.
I know of 24 individuals that have been impacted by this. I'm hearing that there could be hundreds.
Additionally, Guerra claims he is the grandnephew of civil rights leader Cesar Chavez.
It's a detriment to what Cesar Chavez stood for, which is about fighting for the rights of others and uplifting people.
This accuser just wants to warn others.
As there's many people that are being hurt and potentially could still be hurt, that it needs to stop.
Now, tonight we reached out to talk with Guerra at his family's home in Central California, but they would not let us speak with him on the phone. We're told there could be additional charges that could be filed as early as tomorrow. Guerra will be in court on Thursday. You can bet 10 News will be there.
Shocking allegations tonight against a man who is HIV positive, accused of intentionally infecting at least 2 other men, including at least 2 right here in San Diego. CBS News 8's Marcella Lee spoke to both local men who say Thomas Guerra infected them with the virus. She's live in our newsroom now with the disturbing story. Marcella?
The suspect, Thomas Guerra, says that he is the grandnephew of civil rights activist Cesar Chavez, and his alleged victims say he is disparaging his family's name. Guerra has been named in this criminal complaint, which alleges he willfully exposed another person to an infectious disease. But one alleged victim tells me there could be hundreds of people now living with the HIV because of this one man.
Shock, betrayal, disgust.
Though his story is painful to tell, he says he is speaking out to warn others about the alleged actions of this man, 29-year-old Thomas Guerra, who goes by the name Ashton Chavez, and who, according to his Facebook page, was out enjoying the day in Coronado with his nephew today.
There's people that are being hurt, and people that still could be hurt, and his behavior needs to stop.
He says he and Guerra dated for a year before he discovered shocking text messages on Guerra's cell phone.
There's hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of text messages where he's talking about intentionally infecting people with HIV. Texts where he's stating that he's negative to people and then bragging to others about giving people his positive load. It's crude. I don't know how someone could treat another individual like that.
Photos show the couple's happier times.
I was hours away from proposing to this individual. And this is someone that I loved. I've loved his family. I've spent multiple holidays with his family. And this is someone that I intended to spend the rest of my life with.
Guerra has been charged by the San Diego City Attorney's Office with 1 count of willfully exposing himself as an infectious individual to another person, a misdemeanor with a maximum sentence of 6 months and a $1,000 fine. The original accuser in the case is another man who once dated Guerra, but this alleged victim has provided San Diego police with additional text messaging records that he hopes could prompt prosecutors to upgrade the case to a felony, punishable by up to 8 years in prison.
His weapon is using his body to infect these people. Why? I don't know why he's doing this, but it's a weapon. He's forever changing these people's lives, and these people have no clue what's happening to them.
The city attorney's office tells me there is an ongoing investigation as to whether there may be additional charges. Meantime, I also spoke to the original complainant. He says it is too soon to speak about this issue. He wants the legal system to take its course, but he says in the meantime, the only way you can protect yourself is to be responsible for your own actions. He says there are things you can do immediately after possible exposure. And for more HIV prevention education tools, we've put a link on our website at cbs8.com. Just go to our website and click on the hot button. Barbara Lee.
Marcella, thank you. Thomas Guerra has pleaded not guilty to one charge against him. His next court appearance is scheduled for
considering
Thursday.
filing more charges against a man accused of intentionally exposing at least 24 other men to HIV.
And at least 2 local men say they were infected by 29-year-old Thomas Guerra. CBS News 8's Marcella Lee is here now with details in this disturbing case. Marcella?
Barbara Lee and Carlo, the city attorney's office only handles misdemeanor cases, but one alleged victim says this is more like attempted murder, and he's hoping incriminating cell phone texts prompt the district attorney's office to file felony charges. We've concealed his identity and altered his voice to protect his privacy.
It's disgusting, and people are being hurt and it needs to stop.
He's talking about the alleged actions of this man, 29-year-old Thomas Guerra, who goes by the name Ashton Chavez, a man he dated for a year and was about to propose to when he discovered shocking text messages on Guerra's cell phone.
There's hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of text messages where he's talking about intentionally infecting people with HIV. Texts where he's stating that he's negative to people and then bragging to others about giving people his positive load. It's just, it's crude. I don't know how someone could treat another individual like that.
He says his story is painful to share, but is speaking out to warn others about the potential death sentence those who cross Guerra's path could face.
We know of 24 individuals. I'm hearing this, it could be hundreds. And he's even sent a text message admitting that it could be up to 1,000.
Guerra's Facebook page shows no sign of the accusations against him as he enjoyed the day in Coronado with his nephew Tuesday. Guerra is the grand-nephew of civil rights activist Cesar Chavez, and his alleged victim says Guerra is disparaging his family's name.
Cesar was about uplifting people and raising awareness about people that didn't have equal access to, whatever it may be. And this is an individual that's actually tearing people down.
Guerra has pleaded not guilty to one count of willfully exposing himself as an infectious individual to another person, a misdemeanor with a maximum sentence of 6 months and a $1,000 fine.
I do think he obviously needs some type of counseling, but I also believe he needs to be off the street so he's not harming all these individuals.
I also spoke to the original complainant who first took this case to police. He says he doesn't want to discuss the details yet or jeopardize the case, but says ultimately people are responsible for protecting themselves. He says there's medication you can take before or after exposure to HIV. For more information, go to our website, cbs8.com, and click on the hot button.